The secure line on my desk at Naval Station Mayport hissed once, then, Lieutenant Commander Ava Navarro, this is Barrister Cole. I speak for Fleet Admiral Victor Lang. He's down to hours. He insists you come alone. My coffee mug hit the deck and shattered. Wrong, Navarro, I snapped. Cole's voice didn't flinch. He said you'd deny it. Said to mention the Red Lantern. That phrase detonated 33 years of concrete. I was the girl who'd grown up in a Jacksonville group home, parents lost in a training jet collision over the Atlantic, official record. Yet every hurricane season a red glass lantern flickered in nightmares, a lone beam sweeping black water, a man's silhouette, a promise I couldn't name. I flew commercial to a private airstrip outside Newport, Rhode Island. A black Suburban waited, no plates. The driver's sign, A. Navarro. No conversation. The Lang estate crouched on a granite bluff, salt wind clawing at cedar shingles. Barrister Cole met me under a widow's walk, tie flapping like a distress flag. He's in the chart room, barely holding depth. Inside smelled of tarred rope and iodine. Ancestors in oil glared down Langs in dress whites from Manila Bay to Fallujah. Then the portrait, me in service dress khaki, Atlantic storm clouds behind me, the exact frame from my last change of command. Even the lightning bolt scar on my jaw, shrapnel from a 2019 boarding, glowed under fresh paint. Cole's whisper, he hired a Newport plein air master last spring. Said it was for his daughter. Upstairs, ventilators wheezed like bilge pumps. Admiral Victor Lang lay propped on nautical charts, 5 stars dull on a jacket draped over a sextant. His eyes, gunmetal identical, found me. Ava. The name rolled out like a course he'd plotted across decades. I'm here for bearings, not blood, I said, hands clasped behind my back. He coughed blood-flecked foam. Truth's heavier than a full broadside, Commander. Ready to take the weight. I stayed standing. Fire when ready. He motioned to a lacquered box. Inside, a brass signal lantern, red glass cracked but intact, and a folded signal flag, my initials stitched in gold thread. For Anne, steady light. Same handwriting as the childhood trinket I'd worn until it turned my neck green. I bolted. Thunder chased me down the cliff path. Cole pressed a tin dispatch case into my hand. Only if you surfaced. Midnight in a Newport inn, I pried the case with my multi-tool. Birth record, Ava Noel Lang, born Naval Hospital, Jacksonville. A Navy Achievement Medal citation signed the day I earned my dolphins. A single sheet, Ava, I traded your childhood for your pulse. Every ribbon you earned, I logged in secret. Forgive the captain who loved you from the crow's nest.vl. Next sunrise, Cole slid a redacted folder across a diner table. Operation Crimson Wake, 1990 fast rope rescue off Somalia. Surviving warlord issued fatwa on Lang dependents. Protective erasure of minor recommended. My death staged, records sealed. Mother's aneurysm 2 months later real. Father never surfaced again. I stormed the estate at dusk. Lang was a shadow against star charts. You buried me at sea. I buried the bounty on your head. I flung the birth record onto the chart table. Worth the tonnage? Ask me at Reveille, he rasped. May not make it. He spun the combination on a bulkhead safe, my commissioning date. Inside, logbooks labeled Navarro A. My fitness reports, drone photos of me on a carrier flight deck, a candid of me laughing at a wardroom birthday. Margin notes in his hand, handles 30-foot seas like her mother. Still wears the lantern shard. A lower drawer, unsent signal flags, 1 per year. Age 9, saw your science fair submersible win blue ribbon, proud doesn't cover it. Age 18, you raised your hand on the yellow footprints. I stood pierside in civvies, heart at general quarters. Latest, Lang Lantern Fund, scholarships for fleet orphans. Latest, Lang Lantern Fund, scholarships for fleet orphans. Helmet when I'm gone. I confronted him under a storm moon. You ghosted my entire cruise. I ghosted the crosshairs. His oxygen hissed. Tell me, when you sound 8 bells, do you still feel the deck steady? Always, sir. Then I set one true course. Monitors flatlined. The room listed. Cole's hand on my shoulder felt like a mooring line. He pressed the folded burial ensign into my arms. He said you earned the stars. Outside, gulls screamed over whitecaps. I saluted the man who'd loved me by absence. Smooth sailing, Admiral. Arlington, 3 days later. Salt wind snapped flags. The chaplain spoke of tides and service. The ensign folded into a tight triangle, handed to Lang's goddaughter, unaware the blood heir stood aft. Cole found me beside a blooming dogwood. He left you this. A memory card, no label. That night in transient BQ, I played it. Lang at his chart table, weaker, eyes fierce. Ava, fear kept me at periscope depth, fear you'd hate the skipper who scuttled your name. I was at every promotion, every storm you rode. Remember not the silence, but the love that kept watch from the bridge. Semper Fortis, daughter. Always strong. Screen black. Something inside me surfaced. Dawn at Narragansett Bay. I let the breeze tease the ensign. Stars fluttered like signal flags spelling continuation. Weeks later, a crate arrived at my new billet in Norfolk, signal flags tied in signal red cord, Lantern Fund charter, his signature bold. The old group home now read Lang Lighthouse, EST 2019. Inside, kids chalked hopscotch on the old basketball court, a plaque read for those who sailed alone. A gap-toothed boy saluted. My sister's on a carrier. Are you a real commander? I knelt. Real enough. You holding the home port steady? He nodded. I saw my younger self in his fierce grin. Spring brought the fund's first commissioning, 18 orphans in dress whites, eyes bright as running lights. I took the podium. My father was a sailor who misplotted love, I began. He thought distance equaled safety. He was wrong. But he taught me the hardest heading. Truth steers truer than secrecy. Afterward, a 19-year-old approached, freckles sharp as barnacles. Ma'am, did you ever forgive him? I touched the red lantern shard at my throat. Forgiveness isn't a port you reach. It's the course you choose daily. Sunset at Arlington again. His stone-red fleet Admiral Victor Lang, beloved husband, father, guardian of the fleet. I laid the silver oak leaf he'd had engraved decades early. Hey, Dad. Your kids are launching. Cherry petals drifted like signal flags. I saluted, not regulation, but real. That night I wrote, Dad, you taught me strength isn't in silence, but in sounding the depth of love, no matter the squall. Tell Mom the red lantern still burns. Your daughter, always, Lieutenant Commander Ava Noel Lang. I slipped the letter inside the lantern glass. Months later, my post on the Navy's page, Forgiveness is the final watch change, went viral. Messages flooded in from mess decks and dorm rooms alike. I smiled at the screen, whispered to the dark, we're both finally in safe harbor. Semper Fortis, always strong.